Hello.
Merhaba.
Thank you.
With your permission. This week's parasha usually comes right after Shavuot. Parashat Nasso. The subject, one of the subjects is the Mishkan, opening the Mishkan. Sounds like a repetition when we had Parashat Shmini. And before we open the Mishkan, Hashem told Moshe the mitzvah of the Cohanim to bless us. Cohanim. How important Mikat Cohanim is. The Gemara says in one version, the world stands on the Mikat Cohanim. And granted us Mikat Cohanim, we said Nasso v'nishma. The concept of Mikat Cohanim is a little bit, let me say, strange. Because we know nobody can give a blessing. The blessing, they come from Hashem. A person could be a pipe to give a blessing, but you can't go to somebody and say, give me a blessing. If voluntarily doesn't give you a blessing, lots of times the blessing doesn't come through. True. Hashem has to give you the blessing. So God, Hashem chose the Cohanim to give us a blessing. I don't need the Kohen. Where are you going from? Hashem wants to bless you. Hashem will bless you. No. Hashem said the Kohanim, they have to bless you. And then the Torah says, Vani avarchem, in one version, it means, at the end, Hashem said, I'm going to bless. You're going to bless. So why do I have to bless? What's the purpose of a Kohen to give a blessing? The blessing anyway comes from Hashem, and anyway, it's only if Hashem will bless. How important it is that Kohanim. Came to America. Only paid with Sfaradim here, because we have Bekat Kohanim daily. Ashkenazim don't have it daily. They have to Bekat Kohanim every day. Every day. That's funny. She'd never miss it. She'd never miss it. I says, what is the power of Wahab? Very powerful. Very powerful. Don't underestimate the power of Bekat Kohanim again. Hashem is the one who's going to bless us. If Hashem blesses us, so you really don't need to Kohen. But again, a Kohen is going to bless us. With your permission, I'd like to start from the back. I cannot Yitzchak, with your permission. The Torah tells us that one day, I think, to Avraham Avinu, he was 137 years old, go take his son Yitzchak and bring him to me as a sacrifice. And the reason for that is because Avinu made a party for Yitzchak Avinu 37 years ago. When he was 100, and the Satan, we call him America Diablo, came to the party dressed as a Meshulach and stood on the side, and Avraham did not pay attention to him. The Zohar says that Sarah misbehaved to the Meshulach. And the Satan came to Hashem and told Hashem, look, Avraham in the party, he gave nothing to me. And you know what? I'm going to show you something. He's going to give him his own son. So I tells us Avraham got up early in the morning, he took his Yitzchak, and he's going to do Akedat Yitzchak. He gets there, built an altar, put Yitzchak on the altar, ready to slaughter him, the angel calls him from Shammai, from the sky. Don't do nothing, don't do. Everything is okay. Take him off. Avraham is trying to do something to Yitzchak, and he said, don't hurt him, don't do anything. And the words of the angel is Ataya Dati Kire Elokim Ata. Now Hashem said, I know that you fear of me. You did not save your son from me. It means a test. A test. Hashem says, I'm going to go take Yitzchak, and he takes Yitzchak. Women is beyond tests. At age 48, he threw himself into a fire portion. Says the Rambam, all his life, Avraham Avinu was one side of the world, preach, goes from town to town, tell everybody, believe in Hashem, believe in Hashem, believe in Hashem. Age 37, test. What's the test? What's the test? There's no test for him. No test. And not only that, Hashem tells us, the angel tells Avraham Avinu, you know, Hashem said, now I know that you have fear. I fear of you. Now, age 137, I fear of you. When I realized who you are, I already had fear. I broke my father's statues. I did everything. Now, fear of you. Who doesn't have a fear of Hashem? What do you mean a fear? Now you're telling me, yeah, not acceptable. So the Torah gives a title that Hashem said, pass the test. Like the way the Gemara tells us, the biggest. Who could be bigger than Avraham Avinu? Comes the Gemara says, I want to tell you something, somebody bigger than Avraham Avinu. First, Esav's grandson. His name was Ovadia, Rabbi Ovadia. When the Gemara tells us, the Navi tells us, Ovadia was a Navi in the time of Eliyahu Navi, at the time of Achav, this wicked Rasha, the king of Am Israel. Achav and his wife, the witch, Shema Isabella, garbage, devil, decided to kill all the prophets. And then Ovadia took 100 prophets, divided them into two groups. The Master learned from Yaakov Avinu, put 50 in one cave, another 50 in another cave, fed them for years. Two clones from Achav, because he used to walk in the palace with interest, bought food in the black market, fed those prophets. Ovadia died, and Achav died also, oh Hashem. His son Yehoram sent a message, a WhatsApp. What's his wife? Your husband, the late husband, Ovadia, left behind debts with interest. If you don't have any money to pay, you got no problem. I'm going to take your two children to be my servants in the palace. The Gemara says as well, says she went to Ovadia's grave and prayed over there for a long time. And then Ovadia from the grave spoke to her, told her, go to Elisha, and he will help you. She goes to Elisha, she tells Elisha the story about her husband. And she tells Elisha, Ovadia, היה ירא את השם מאוד. He had a lot of fear of Hashem. Says the Gemara, you see, Avraham Avinu was told by the angel, ירא אלוקים, doesn't say ירא אלוקים מאוד, a lot. Ovadia granted the statement, says the Gemara with all the respect of Avraham Avinu, Ovadia was bigger than Avraham Avinu. Imagine to believe such a thing. It's hard to believe. Avraham Avinu. You say Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov, you should say Elokei Ovadia. Much bigger than Avraham Avinu. It's in Kabbalah, it's even bigger. Because Avraham Avinu says Elokim. Avraham Avinu is afraid of Elokim. And Ovadia says Yireh et Hashem. So-called on the surface, afraid of Hashem's kindness, mercy. Hashem's mercy. Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, those letters, those words. That word is a mercy. Avadia is not afraid of Elohim. Of course, everybody is afraid of Hashem. Who's not afraid of Hashem? But we are afraid, so-called, of the judge. It is very merciful. It's a higher level. The Gemara says Avadia is higher. Very strange thing. Strange about Avraham, strange about Avadia. Again, we have to know that the Torah and the Navi are not a storybook, only messages, top secrets. But what is the message here? What's the message? What do you have to know? So, come the Zohar and says like this. You know, Hashem has a lot of names. A lot. By the way, there's a book. It says a lot of names of Hashem. And one of the names over there, if you have the Kavanah, Mashiach arrive immediately. You just know the name. You know the name, you have the Kavanah, Mashiach arrives. But everything is Hashem's name, a lot of names. But all those names, so-called, you allow, let's say, to erase it or put it with a cover into the garbage. Cover. There are 7 names of Hashem that you're not allowed to erase. Of course, the first one is Aleph and Lamed, Kel. Second one is Elohim. The third one is Yud and Hey, Bab and Hey. And then you have Tzevakot, the army. Then you have Yud and Hey, and then you have Shin and Dal and Yud, and then you have Aleph, Dal and Yud. And 7 names. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. This is the most powerful names that we say. This is compliant and refer to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Moshe, and Yosef, and David. That's what the Zohar says. Comes the Navi, the last Navi, you have Malachi. And in his last, I think the first chapter in Malachi, it describes what the Kohen is all about. I would like to know what the Kohen is. Kohen, yeah, we know. You can take a blood test. You can say if you're fake here, if you're a Kohen. You can't fake anymore that you're a Kohen. The blood test will show. But if you really want to know what the Kohen is, the description of the Kohen, the Navi says. So I actually pure. He has to be a knowledgeable person. He has to be able to teach Torah, to answer questions. Ki malach Hashem tzvakot is an angel. A Kohen is an angel. But not just an angel, Hashem's angel. He has the title that he has, it's called Malach Hashem Tzvakot. Tzvakot means army. Of course, we don't say Hashem's name, so this is Tzvakot. Really put an Aleph instead of a Kuf. It's Tzadik Ved, Aleph, Vav, and Tav. That's a Kohen. That's a Kohen. Except I don't know what it means yet, but the Gemara says, I want to explain to you something. I said, Hashem has millions of angels upstairs. Some of them are higher than others, and the high rank, the highest. One of them is Michael, one is Gabriel, one is Oriel, one is Raphael. That's called the army of Hashem. Underneath them, they have thousands and thousands. There are more. So let me I want to explain to you what the idea of a Kohen. That's the Kohen is. I got it. He says as well, I'm going to explain to you. You see, this angel upstairs called Michael, that is Sar Israel, is the angel that always talks good about us. He is an angel, so-called responsible for part of the army of Kadosh Baruch. You going downstairs, you got to connect yourself to that angel. Your power It's not because you're Kohen, because you're born to a father's home. It means nothing. You're Kohen, yeah, you're Kohen. But in order for you to have the real energy of a Kohen, besides that you have to be Talmid Chacham and Tzaddik and Shamayim, all the things, you have to connect yourself to that one. He is the one that is going to deliver you the blessings. And he has his job upstairs. What do you do upstairs, Mr. Michael? What does he do? The Zohar says that's a kavanah that we have daily. Ishe Yisrael Tfilatam miyad kabel beratzon. Kavanah, after you see Shomei Tfilah, you say, "Ritzeh Hashem Elokeinu chesed v'tam she'eh." Please accept Am Yisrael and Tfilah. Asher avodah bebetecha, bring back the job to the Hamikdash. Ishe Yisrael. What's the kavanah? Ishe Yisrael. What a person has to look for. The Zohar says, the Gemara says, what it means is the sacrifice of Am Yisrael. Hashem should accept. We just said, Asher avodah, which Yisrael accept now. What accept? And it says that Michael sacrifices on an altar upstairs in the Neshamot of the Tzaddikim to Hashem. The person dies, he jumps into a fire on an altar upstairs. That's the kavanah, the simple kavanah. It's not the kavanah. That's the kavanah a person should have. So I hope HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you accept with love the sacrifices of Michael HaKohen HaGadol, that he is so-called the head of the army upstairs. That's called Tzvakot. It's Tzvakot. It says the Zohar, I want to explain to you something. That's how it goes. The Kohen doesn't go up to the Luch HaVil Bracha, the fourth is the hope. But he goes up, he has to have this command. I'm going to give a blessing. I said, you know the power or the energy that I have to give a blessing because I connect myself to that guy Michael upstairs. So, what do you mean exactly? This is that Michael is so-called the minister upstairs of kindness. He sacrifices upstairs Neshamot because he's Mr. Kindness. You, the Kohen, you have to know that you Mr. Kindness. And therefore the Zohar says the Cohanim never sacrificed the Beit HaMikdash, only brought on the altar, they never slaughtered. A Kohen cannot hold a knife in his hand. He is Mr. Kindness because he is to be connected to upstairs Michael. Okay, fine, so I'm connected. The Zohar, wait, let me tell you something. It's not a switch that you're kind. You may become kind only if you have fear of Hashem. The fear of Hashem will grant you to be kind. Says the Gemara, look, if you see a goy, it is very nice to you. You should know his Jewish brothers. It's impossible. Look what happened in the exposition. Look what happened in the Holocaust. It's impossible even to understand. It's a goyim how they behave. The crusade. This is because a goy has no mercy. If you have goyim, have some mercy because of Jewish brothers. What is, how come, what is it all about? Why? Because I'll tell you what it is. You cannot be kind unless you have fear of Hashem. Yirah. Fear of Hashem, then you can have the real kindness. And you, the Kohen, continues the Zohar, says based on a lot of Sukkim and Tehillim and all over, and say you should know the secret of our life is a fear. We don't know what it is yet. We'll see soon. But you should know, the Zohar and the Gemara says, the secret of Parnasa is, say 3 times a day, Putech Yadecha, says, are accustomed to open our hands. Hashem please Parnasa. The Shulchan Aruch says, Mishnah could you say, this have bad kavanah, you need Parnasa 3, they say Ashrei 3. But the Gemara says, well, it's very nice. But that sentence in start with the letter P comes after a lot of sentences to the alphabet. And if you concentrate on the Ashrei, every sentence, and you accept on yourself, then you can open up your hands and ask for Hashem Parnasa. Open. part of the sentences. Hashem kol ma'asecha. Hashem, all you creatures, thank you. V'chasidecha yevarchucha. Your chasidim will bless you. Ashrei. So Ashrei ends. Retzon Yereya v'yaseh. Hashem will do whatever people that have fear of Him will do. Why? God says, no. It's not fear. It's not. The fear will ignite kindness. Kindness called Hasid. If you're not Hasid, you can't connect yourself to that angel upstairs. Your Parnasa is hard. And also the Birkat Cohanim will have no effect unless the Kohen is a Hasid. Hasid. It doesn't mean you have to go to Williamsburg or to Ballpark for this. Hasid means, the Gemara said, you do kindness. But kindness first starts with the Creator. Ezu Hasid, says the Gemara, mit Chased im Kono. The first thing you have to know is do kindness with Hashem. What do you mean? What do you mean to Hashem? Hashem is looking all the time to see if we do kindness to Him. That's what He wants. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, the world stand on kindness. V'chasid b'chol ma'asav. K'ahav Hashem b'chol korav. Chasid b'chol ma'asav. Hashem, whatever He does, kindness. But He does the whole day, He doesn't do anything else. So again, Birkat Kohanim is by the Kohen is called Malach Hashem Tzvakot. And it says, what is that? Kindness. Okay, I still don't know what it means. Come to Gemara, I want to explain to you something. That name of Hashem Tzvakot was not known. Through generations, Hashem reveals Himself. Abraham, Yitzchak and Yaakov, He revealed one name, then He revealed to Moshe. Then 2 generations He revealed. That name, Tzvakot, was revealed by Hannah. Hannah, she was 130 years old, has no children, goes to the Tamigdash every Chag with her husband Elkanah, Levi, no children. She comes to the Tamigdash one time, was a time at Simchat Torah. She prays to Hashem. He didn't have prayers. She prays to Hashem. He said, Hashem. She called Him Hashem armies, Tzvakot. And by the way, the Gemara says, you know, the tefillah that we pray Shmoneh Esrei, this is the highest thing that the person should understand, that he can talk to Hashem. Shmoneh Esrei is not, ask Hashem. It's a connection to Hashem, a very, very high level. So why do you say it loudly? Why you have to stand up? Why you have to do this? Everything is being learned from Hannah. She invented Shmoneh Esrei. She invented. In her prayer, she said that word, Hashem's name is Tzvakot. It says, and then, of course, following years, she had a baby. She had more babies. Tfilat Hannah, some people say it's important to say before Shacharit. I said, okay, so I said, Shacharit. What's Shacharit? What does it do with Hannah prayed? Children, my wife wasn't 130 years old when she had a baby. But you can imagine, Chacham, you say, at age 130, you got a baby. Can you imagine? Avraham had it 100. She was 130. Okay, well, she had a baby. So what's the plan? Harvard University. It's not a shame, watching all day. Don't go here, don't go there. Take life insurance for him. Get him a special tutor, special teacher, take him in Florida, take him ahead, take him in. My son, Sharon, 130 years old, a mother. In enough in the text. He was born, so her husband said, Elkanah said, okay, we're going to Beit HaMikdash. She said, no, I'm not going. You're not going, Why am I going? I said, I'm waiting for Shmuel to be 2 years old. His name is Shmuel. And I'm going to leave him over there. What? He's not coming back home. I'm going one way with him. One-way ticket. And he's going to stay in Beit HaMikdash. And there's a hotel over there. Hold off. Where is he staying over there? In Beit HaMikdash, in the building. In the building. It's not Yerushalayim, it's Shiloh. Worse. Shiloh is going to stand over there? Yeah. Who? The Cohen Eli. 2 years old, you leave him? With a babysitter? No. I make him a jacket and suit. I leave him over there. Ad olam. Forever. He's not coming home. Not every 4 weeks, Shabbos off. Comes home, shopping, Macy's, return, go, back. He goes there, he's going to serve Hashem. I don't want a child to serve me. My child is to serve Hashem. And he says that she did. He came 2 years old. By the way, this is Haftarah for Shana. It's a message that's Haftarah. Of course, the Gemara says, Chana became pregnant on Shana, but whatever it means. Doesn't mean that means something else, but it doesn't matter. Hoshana, you read the first day this section of Chanina. Why? Because you weren't created here, but to serve Hashem, to thank Hashem. Alatz levi Hashem shirat Chana. As Chachamim say before Sharit, you say this, Alatz levi, say Filat Chana. You say, what do you want from Hashem? I need parnasa, I need this. What do you need all this? What do you need? I want to serve Hashem better. For this, okay. You can talk to Hashem. He might give it to you. But if you want for your personal thing, you want to buy this and you want to sell this, and you're going to get this, well, you're not here for that. Hannah, the mother of Shmuel, invented the word tzvakot. Michael Sar Israel. He is the angel of tzvakot. And this is the Cohen, says Nabi Malachi, says Zohar, listen, Bekat Kohanim is very valuable. It's very important, but she's not the word says Bekat Kohanim. You know why? Because Bekat Kohanim, the Cohen connects himself to that angel upstairs, and he gives you a bracha. You know why? It's not from Hashem. And the Cohen cannot so-called connect himself to Hashem. He has to have a mediator between him and Hashem, is Michael. Hashem said, you know, I'll give the blessing. But the pipe is via this guy Michael, because hopefully the Kohen fulfills all the conditions to be a Kohen that will be able to bless. And that's really the secret you should know about Avraham Avinu. See, Avraham Avinu is that with all the respect of Avraham Avinu, says the Gemara, okay. Your test is to see if you're going to give your own son to Hashem. It's easy to make a restaurant and people come. And you say, okay, you want to, here's the food, and you got to pay the bill, unless you want to say bracha. Okay, say bracha. Okay, after you say the bracha on the food, okay, you don't have to pay the bill, say bracha to Hashem, brings people to Hashem. Okay, fine. It's easy. You want to give yourself something that you love very much. My son was born to me 100 years old. Yitzchak Avinu. And Hashem said, Yitzchak Avinu is going to be the head of Am Yisrael. He's a son from Mashiach. Take this son. I want your son. This is the test. How much you're willing to give from yourself directly to the Creator. And that really what the angel tells Avraham Avinu after he tried to sort of his son. Yireh Elokim doesn't feel Hashem. Well, everybody has fear of Hashem, unless you don't know what's going on. But it's like a worm sees an elephant. The worm is not afraid of the elephant. Maximum she'll get crushed, she'll go to Gan Eden. And says the worm looks at an elephant is such respect. Such a big entity. A big entity. So I have respect for the entity. It's called, says the Rambam, Yirat HaRomemut. To be afraid of Hashem is easy. But to be afraid of the entity of Hashem, not because you're afraid of punishment. because you see such giant in front of you. From this by itself, you get so scared, not because you're scared to do something, because you didn't shama for it. I says, when you want to give something to Hashem, yeah, you want to give it. You do something to Hashem, at first you feel how great Hashem is. It is resources. Now, Abraham Avinu understood how great Hashem is. He's going to give Yitzchak to Hashem. I says, no, person is. But, Abraham Avinu, Avadia is greater than you. Avadia went and risked himself. He hid 100 prophets. If they would have found out, they would have killed him. He went and he borrowed money with interest to feed for years those prophets. There's no money. Says the Gemara, you're greater than Avraham Avinu because you gave it to Hashem. I'm not saving the prophets. The prophets are Hashem's children. I gave Hashem his children. It's the biggest thing. It's like Hannah gave Shmuel. And let's hear the Gemara. It says, with all respect, the Gemara says, Moshe and Aaron are equal to the Gemara. But Shmuel, the same. Same. Shmuel, yeah, you say every Friday night. Moshe and Aaron Cohanim. Moshe is not a Kohen. Yeah, you say Moshe and Aaron Cohanim. Shmuel because Shmuel also like them. Shmuel is like them, yeah. This Gemara, with all the respect, Shmuel is greater than Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu said the Gemara, sat down, everybody came in front of him. Shmuel got no house. His mother taught him, you don't need buildings, you don't need palace, you don't need nothing. Where's your house? My knapsack. Says the Gemara, Shmuel walked from town to town, from village to village, and asked anybody has any questions. Greater than Moshe Rabbeinu. That's called fear of Hashem. It's called kindness. This is a Kohen. That's called tzvakot. And that's what the Gemara says. Moshe and Aaron are equal. They're both called the Cohanim, even though Moshe is a Levi. The one version of the Gemara says Moshe the whole time in the 40 years, he acted as a Kohen as well. Wore only white clothing like Kohen wears on Yom Kippur. But for Moshe was Yom Kippur the whole 40 years. Even though we have no information, just the Gemara, yeah, Moshe. What did it mean? Tzvakot. They didn't know the name yet. Hannah is going to invent it. But that's the goal in our life. To reach that level of tzvakot. So this is, we say certain sentences in Tefillah a few times. Shem Elokim, Shem Tzvakot, Manu, Shem Adam Te'arbach, Tzvakot. It says the word tzvakot is very powerful. So the Gemara destroy all the bad entities that gives you a hard time. Person has traps in his lifetime, difficulties. How to overcome that? Of course you pray. But the prayers that you pray is going to end up in a special window upstairs. It's called tzvakot. If you are tzvakot, if you connect yourself to Michael, you get Birkat Kohanim, therefore, everything will stop. The difficulties will disappear. The Gemara says, Hashem said, when I want to stop and to rule certain things, I come down with that tzvakot. But against tzvakot is Hashem tzvakot. That's what the Torah wants to tell us. And this week's parasha always come after Shavuot, always. Sometimes not, almost always. Shavuot we got the Torah. So the Gemara Birkat Kohanim is because the Torah. I said, what's the connection? Because the Torah that we got is only, so the Gemara says, to reach that level. Hashem gave us Torah for what? The book is called Mesilat Yesharim. The Ramchal wrote a book called Mesilat Yesharim. System is built on Gemara, how to elevate yourself to reach a level what Hashem wants you to be. What does Hashem want you to be? Someone says Hashem wants you to have Ruach HaKodesh. For things like this, you don't need ways. You don't need to know what the weather in the next 50 years you can. You can figure out everything. It's called Ruach HaKodesh. No, it's Navi. I don't know if you heard the story. There's a video of it. Maybe on YouTube. One day, a rank of the police department in Israel came to Chaim Kanievsky. You see, sitting around the table, I exaggerate, 20 high-rank officers from the police department. He came to Chaim Kanievsky, and they want from him something. High rank. They come down, it's on the video, you can see that. Maybe it's on YouTube. So his grandson says, Saba, they want a bracha. So Chaim said, bracha batzlacha. So they came for a special bracha. All of them sit down, you don't know what it is. They said they came and they want a bracha for one of the people over there. That he should be that of the police of Israel. I don't know who gave them that idea. But the Chaim for something. I had to let him in. So they pointed on one guy and they say, we want a bracha, and he should be the other police. The Chaim doesn't budge, he doesn't say anything. So his grandson said, Saba, do the bracha. So Chaim asked the guy, are you a Kohen? The guy said, no. Chaim's quiet. So he said, bracha. So bracha, what happened? They never elected him. They elected him to the police department, Cohen. But Chaim knew that the police department is going to be a Cohen. There are a lot of stories about it. It's called Ruach HaKodesh. You know everything, you don't need nothing. You know everything what's going to be, a lot of stories. This is the destination, the Gemara says. That's the book Mizrat Sharim built on. How to get to that thing. There's two versions. One of the versions of the Gemara says, in order for you to have Ruach HaKodesh, you have to watch yourself certain things, elevate yourself, and the main thing is Hasidut. Kindness. The Hasid b'chol ma'as. The Gemara tells us like this, the Navi tells us. It was Corona at the time of the Melech, every day 100 people died. There was no Fraser yet, not other things. So Navi told David Melech, you know what? Let them say 100 times Baruch. Every day, Corona must stop. It's a Shulchan Aruch. A person in his lifetime has to know every day. So people have a list to make. Calculation. How many times they said Baruch today? Simple explanation means, okay, I say Baruch Hashem. The Gemara tells us one day Rabbi Shmuel Gadol was in Bet HaMikdash. He went to the holiest of the holiest with Yom Kippur, and he heard an image of Hashem, so-called an angel, says, give me a bracha. And he was asking me bracha. And let's Chachamim say, it started with Megillat Boaz. The person should say blessed things all the time. Because when you bless, you connect yourself so-called to that angel upstairs, Michael, minister of kindness, your personal angel. And that is, if you want to do like here, what does he do? For Hashem all the time. Start blessing. Start bless Hashem. Baruch atah Hashem. Get up in the morning, before when you wash your hands. The tefillah was invented for 100 years ago, over a few hundred years ago. Start saying Baruch atah Hashem. So every time, what do you say? I say, I bless God. He doesn't need your blessing. But when you bless him, this is like Akedat Yisrael. When you bless him, it's like what your body did. When you bless him, it means you connect yourself to that angel. When it says, Baruch to you. That's what Chachamim say. You say Baruch. You say, I'm blessing him. But Baruch is the root of the blessing that can come to you, because if you bless Hashem, Hashem will bless you. You don't bless him, he's not going to bless you. And let's Chachamim come with the punchline. Okay? We got everything. No, he didn't get nothing. Remind you, Bekat Cohanim. We must tell you something. The third sentence, Bekat Cohanim, Hashem panav elecha v'aseh lecha shalom. Hashem is going to treat you VIP, even you don't deserve it. Says the Gemara, the angels upstairs, Malachashet ask him, what? That's the blessing you told the Cohanim to bless Israel? You're going to bless Israel? So, yeah. He said, what do you mean? They don't deserve it. You wrote in the Torah, Hashem, you have to be straight, righteous. What do you mean you're going to look on the side? You're not going to look at anything. She said, you know what? Tell you what. I'm Israel, they want to bless me so much that I said they should eat only a certain amount and then should say Birkat Mazon. They took upon themselves to say Birkat Mazon for a small amount, even if they have small amount, 27 grams of bread, it's a blessing. The whole Birkat Cohanim, said the Gemara, based on Baruch, based on results, on kindness, that you bless Hashem. The only bracha that Hashem wants you to say every day is Birkat Hamazon. No, I don't wash. I don't want to wash. C'est Birkat Hamazon, c'est Mishnah Berurah, c'est Yalkut Yosef. The Parnasa comes from Birkat Hamazon. Of course, the Rosh Hashanah say thank you to Hashem and give us another. Birkat Hamazon is Birkat Cohanim. Birkat Cohanim has no effect without Birkat Hamazon. Zero. The Gemara. Forget what it says in the Zohar. This is why, because I say, Baruch Atah Hashem, Baruch Atah Hashem, Baruch Atah Hashem. Now, Baruch Atah Hashem, I accept on myself restrictions and certain things that I want to obligate myself to say Baruch Hashem. Hashem is not expecting me to say Baruch Hashem now, because I had only a small piece. And Hashem said, Hashem said, you say Birkat Mazon, but you ate a lot. You did it a lot. You don't have to. But I like to say Baruch to you. Says the Gemara says Baruch, you want to say Baruch. That's what it is. Birkat Cohanim. What's Birkat Cohanim? The angel upstairs. What is it? Tzvakot. Who is this? Every man Chana. Every man Obadia. Every man Obadia. Now it's Potech et Yedecha. Chasidech Barucha. Chasidim, they bless you. Yiru Hashem is. Some Machsol Hashem will not limit the one that have fear. Fear? What fear is it? Fear is the diving board for kindness. You have no fear of Hashem. You have to dress properly, come to the Knesset as respect to Hashem, not fear of Hashem. But how you dress up? That's how you came in front of the King of the Kings. Birkat Mazon says Yishtabua, Yalkut Yosef, you have to sit down, dress nicely, you have to look to the side, not to watch the phone, not to do anything, say from the text, say Birkat Mazon slowly. That's the Parnasa. What's the Parnasa? Connect yourself to that angel Michael. Connect yourself to Avraham Avinu, to Ovadia, to Hannah. I say Malach Hashem Tzvakot. Connect yourself to the Tzvakot. That's the Parnasa comes from there. This is the pipe. And that's what Hashem wrote us, after Shavuot, except the Torah. The Torah is Torah Chesed. The Torah is to give us so-called Irat Romemut, fear of the size of so-called of the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Mishkan is open. Wait, before you open the Mishkan, Aaron is going to give you a blessing in the Mishkan. We learn Pashat Shmini. Aaron, he gave a blessing. The blessing is because Malach Hashem Tzvakot, because you respect Hashem, and because you want to do kindness to people, to Hashem. Then Hashem pours Parnasa ad Britan, to Metamigdash, Rabbi Aderet.
Amen.